Okay, guys, so I'm going to share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see. Okay, is it visible?
Yeah,
Okay, fine. So yesterday, by mistake, actually, I have explained this line height property in text module. Actually, this one is the part of font module. Okay, so you know what actually line height property is, no? So simply I'm going to put that one here just for your reference. So line height is the part of font module. Okay, and I missed one property in text module yesterday, and that is text indent. So I will explain that one first, and then we'll continue with the font module. Okay, so here I'm going to start with that property. First, I will target the paragraph element. Okay, and we have here text indent property. So what if you want to start this line, the first line of the paragraph for every paragraph, means it should be indented at least for 10%, or you can say 100 pixels. Then so two values we can pass. By default it will be 0. Okay, by default it will be 0. Here I'm going to set it as 100 pixels. So see here, in newspaper or in any article, if you will see, the first paragraph will start like there will be some space before the first line, as you can see here we have. So like that, you can set text indent value for any text element. Okay, so the first one we have seen, the by default one, the text indent value was 0. Then we have applied here 100 pixel. We can pass another format also. Let's say I'm going to give it as in percentage, 10%. So 10% of its width. Okay, it is taking. If you will pass here 50%, so see from here it is starting. So 50% of its viewport width. So likewise, you can apply here text indent property. So this is the first use case that you can use. Another one is if you have one input element. Okay, I'm going to give here a placeholder as username. Okay, so here we have this one input field. Okay, so sometimes you might have seen like in input field, when you are going to interact with that input field, so first there will be one user icon or the password icon. Okay, in the input field, and once if you will start typing, that will appear. Let's say if the icon is here, your text will start from here. So in that case also you can make use of this property. Simply you have to target input and text indent. I'm going to here, let's say 20 pixels. So here, see, if you will click here, so it is not starting from the beginning of this input field. Now it is starting from here. So you can indent text here as well if you want. Okay, so that also you can use. Any question here in this property, text indent property? Anyone? No? Okay, fine. So now we are going to continue with the font module. Okay, so we'll start here, font module. Here I'm going to comment this one. We'll take a new paragraph. So yesterday we have seen how to import a Google font, how to import like a custom font in your web page, okay, and how to use that. We have seen at import rule as well as at font face rule. Both we have seen. If you are going to add any like a CDN font, okay, font which is available on another server, and you are going to take that from that particular path, then you have to use at import rule. And if you have any font available in your local machine, then you can go with the this font face rule, okay. So you can use this one. So these two things we have seen. Even we know like how to import a Google font by using link tag, that also we have seen yesterday. Now we are aware of the generic font family, how to apply that, and the font family property. Till here we have learned in the font module. Okay, so here we have now normal font. So we'll see which font we have added in our page. Font, you can see here we have this one, Akaya. So instead of this, I'm going to comment this one for now. I'm going to comment. Okay. Font family, excuse me. Now we know that we can use here any generic name also. Let's say serif. So this is serif only. If you will use sans serif, so here see, we are able to use that one. So I'm going to use here right now sans serif only. Okay. So first property, now you know, if you want to add any font family to a particular element, you can go with this font family property. So this is for the individual element. What if you want to go with the same font family name for the entire page, for each and everything? In that case, directly you can target the HTML, okay, element, and there you can apply this one. So here simply you can target the HTML element, and there you can apply this font family. See, still it is working. So that you can do. Okay. So I'm going to comment this one here. Sans serif. Okay. So first property here we have seen font family in font module. Another one I'm going to show you here. What if you want to increase the font size? So for that one here we have font size property. Okay. So there are many units that you can use here for font size. Like we have M, EM, REM. Okay. Vmax, Vmean, VH, VW. Okay. Pixels, CH. Okay. So many units are there. PC, Picas. Okay. So those properties units we will see in the values and units section. For now, just I'm going to explain you like how we can increase the font size or decrease the font size. Okay. So we are not going to learn about the units, what type of unit we can use here. We are going to learn about font size property. So let's say if you are going to make this one 16 pixels. So by default for any browser, right now I have not saved it. For any browser, by default, font size will be 16 pixels only. So see, there's no change actually. Okay. And if I'm going to use here 100% as font size, so it will take the 100% of its parent font size. So its parent is, if you will check here, parent of the paragraph, if you will see for this element, we have body. Okay. And for body, the by default font size is, if you will check, I'm going to inspect this one. Here we have body tag. If you will see here the computed value for this one. So margin is there. Right now I'm not able to show you that one, but see for body, I think it will be it will be 16 pixels only. Okay. Right now, I'm not able to show you that. Okay. So instead, if we'll go with this one, for that one also, it is not showing me here right now. Okay. We'll see that one. We'll see that one. But the default one, you have to always remember that it will be 16 pixels. So for body also, right now, the font size is 16 pixels. So it will take its parent. And parent of paragraph tag is right now body. So 100% of that font size will be 16 pixels only. So either you can go with the right now, you can go with the 100% or 16 pixels. That is the default one. What if you want to increase it to like 150%? So 150% will be 24 pixels. So that I can prove you now. If you will see here, the computed value, how much it is? 24 pixels. 100 pixels is, as I said, 100% is 16 pixels. So 150% is nothing but 24 pixels. That you can see here, the computed value. Okay. Or we can go with the, like here, we can increase this font size in pixels unit also. This is fixed, 30 pixels. So we are able to change the font size by using font size property. Okay. So for now, we have seen two properties, font family and font size. Fine. The third property now we are going to learn about, that is font weight. Okay, font weight. By default, tell me one thing, like if I want to make this paragraph as bold, okay, bold text, I want to annotate like that. So which tag we can use in HTML? Anyone?
B tag.
B tag, any other tag we have?
Strong tag.
Long
Yeah,
tag.
how? Okay, yeah, Shiva, a strong tag, correct. So Shabana, your question is how we can remember all these things. This is very difficult to remember. So you do not have to remember all these things. If you know like these things we can do by using HTML and CSS, at least you can recall it. You can search on Google that if I want to increase the font size, I want to make this text italic. So you have to Google it. Okay. So everything is not like bread and butter that you can have. See, at least if you are not able to remember all these property names, so see if someone will ask me to just transform these text in like caps, all text should be in capital letter. So at least I can try on Google, like how we can do it on in CSS. What are the properties available for that? Whether it is there, whether it is available or not. At least that we can search. Okay, that you have to do. You have to Google every time. So why I'm teaching these things? At least if you will learn one time means another time means you will be able to recall it. If you will face some issue like that, so you can recall at least like I have learned sometime this one, but somehow we were able to do that. So we'll search again and you can search on Google. At the time you will be able to understand, okay, how it was working. You can use it, isn't it? You do not have to like remember all these things. Now, so a strong tag we can use. Okay. Instead of using that here, that tag, what we can do here, we can use font weight property. Font weight will be by default normal. Okay, normal. Okay. If you want to make this one bold, we have here option. Okay, that we can make this one as bold. So by using a strong tag also we can do, by using font weight also we can make this one bold. But what is the advantage here of font weight property? Let's say if you have different variations, like you have thin font also for this one. I'm going to use now Google font and will show you what I'm trying to say exactly. For the same font, As you can see here, we have Lato. I'm going to remove that one. For the same font, if you are going to use multiple faces, okay, let's say here we have Lato, okay, and here we have a thin font face, okay, then thin italic, and this is light 300 italic. So if you want to use these many variations, what you have to do, simply you have to select all these fonts here, okay. Just one example I'm giving you. If all these fonts here, you can see thin is there, 100, 300, 400, 700, 900 is available for this font, okay. So what I can do, simply I'll copy this one, and here you can see for Lato, italic, and font weight they have added here, that is 0, 200, and then 300, 400, 700, 900, and italic version is also there. So simply I'm going to copy this one. If we have different font faces for any font, not for each and everything, okay. So before adding that, I'm going to show you here. If I will use simply font weight 100, this is the normal font. If I will use font weight 200, no change. 300, no change, okay. 700, then here we have bold, okay. So 700 is nothing but bold font, or instead of that you can use simply bold, okay. Fine. So when it is working, when we are using here a normal sans serif font, and 100 is not working because it is not there, 200, 300, 400 is not working, 500 is not working, 600, 700 is working, if you will check, or either you can go with the bold, okay. Now here we have one font that I'm going to add, that is Lato font. I have added here. If I want to use that font, what we have to do, simply we have to use the font family name in single quote or double quote, Lato. Here we have that font. If I'm going to use bold, it is working. If I will use 100, see, now this version is also working here, because we have added here, if you will see, 100 thin, okay. That is the light version of this font. So it is available, that's why it is working, okay. If you will use 300, see, it is working, okay. If you will use 700, it is working. 900, this one is also working, or either you can go with the directly bold one, this one, okay. So you can use this one. So that's why here we are going to use the font weight property. In case if you have different faces for like either Google font or your custom font, then you can use that variations like font weight 100, 200, 300, up to 900 it is there, okay, that you can use. It depends on the different types of font family. Fine. After this font weight property, we have seen font family, font size, and then font weight. Yeah, that link tag should be in HTML only, no, because we cannot add that in link tag in CSS file. That is not possible. Tag will work for just HTML type of file, no? Yeah, so if you want to import that font, I have closed that one. If you want to import that font in your CSS file, then you can go with this at import rule. Yesterday we have seen this one, no? Okay, fine. After font weight, here we have one property called font style. Okay, so by default it is normal, that you can see. What if you want to make this text italic? Which tag we can use in HTML?
I tag.
I tag. Okay, but that is not recommended, no?
EM tag.
EM tag, yes, emphasize tag we can use. So same thing here, we can do with this property font style. Instead of normal, we can go with the italic. Okay. See now, we are able to make this text as italic. Okay. So you can use font style property. If you want to make any text italic. Now, the last property, we have already learned about the line height. So I'm not going to explain that. We have seen yesterday. So the last property now we have here in fonts module, that is font variant. Okay. Font variant. So by default, it is normal. See here, whatever format you have written here in the paragraph, in the same way it is appearing. Okay, same way. Now, if I'll ask you to transform each and every word in capitalized form, what property you will use here? Tell me.
Text transform uppercase.
No, I'm saying for each and every word, the first letter should be in caps.
That means capitalize we can use.
Yeah, capitalize we can use. So text transform, capitalize we can use here. It is working fine. What if I want to make each and every text in a smaller case then?
We can use
Lowercase. Lowercase.
Lowercase we can use, right? And if we want to make each and every letter of this paragraph in caps, then
uppercase.
uppercase, fine. So we have seen these things yesterday, okay? But here we have one special property, font variant. What it is going to do, if you will use a small caps, so each and every letter will be in caps only, but the first letter, whatever you have written here, for each and every statement, the first letter is cap. So it will appear a bit. See here how it is. Comparatively, you can see for these letters and this one is a bit larger than these letters. So a small caps you can use. Sometimes the requirement, if they have like this, means you have to keep each and everything in caps only, but the first letter of the uh, statement should be in caps. Then you can go with the font variant small caps. Okay. Automatically this is not happening. As you can see here, for lorem, L is in caps. For this word here, we have E is in cap. Why it is happening, because here, if you will see, E is in cap only. That's why. If you will make this one E, automatically it will not convert that one in capital case like this. Okay. So each and everything in caps only. But if you will change here for the each and every statement, the first letter as caps, it will appear a bit larger than all those texts. Is that clear? Everyone? Any question you have till here? No question. Okay, then we are done with the fonts module. Okay, now we are going to start CSS selectors. So from here, from CSS selectors, so CSS selector is the huge topic. Okay, and in real time you have to use this one as a, like, you can say the key asset is for CSS. Okay, so main thing is in CSS, entire CSS main thing is selector. Okay, so you have to learn it. And as I said, this is a huge topic and complex as well, but I will try to make it simple. And it is going to take, I think, 3 to 4 sessions. So you can understand now how big it is. Okay, so now I'm going to create here a new file for selector. CSS selector. Guys, everyone, could you please turn off your mic? CSS selector. Okay, here we have. I'm going to create here a new HTML file. Okay, one second. And title, I'm going to give it as CSS selectors.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Which is the shortcut key for that? You have pressed just one dark type HTML.
two things you can do. See, simply you can press shift 1, okay, on your
Okay.
keyboard, and then press enter. Okay, first.
Okay.
Another one you can go with like type HTML:5 and then enter. Both will
Okay.
work.
Uh,
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
yeah, fine. So CSS selector here we have. Now I'm going to run this file first. So how many of you know about the CSS selector?
I know.
Okay, good. So like the types and all, like how many types are there?
Is universal selector,
Okay,
or
universe.
it
Any
is
other?
used for
Any other? No, I'm not asking about the definition. Any other, like simply like which selector Universal selector, any other selector?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, okay, fine. Don't worry about that. Like I'm going to cover each and everything in selectors. So many things are there in selector. We'll see that. Okay. Yeah, ID class is also. Any other selector?
Attribute selector.
Yeah, attribute selector is also there. Yes. Okay, fine.
The
We'll
tilde
see.
selector plus greater than
Greater than. Yeah. So what selector is that? Name?
tilde selector.
Yes. Okay, fine. We'll see each and everything as I said. So first I'm going to start with here. Let's say I'm going to take one tag section. Okay, this is a kind of just you can say a container, nothing else. Instead of that, you can write div also. So inside section, I'm going to take one paragraph. This para is, I'm going to write inside section. Okay, and I'm going to write it as 1. So this is the first paragraph of section. Another tag here, I'm going to take it as ul tag. Okay, inside ul tag, now I'm going to add here list styles. So list item, let's say here we have 4. So that you can see here we have. I'm going to take again one div also. Okay, inside div also, I'm going to take one para. Writing here. And this is the first para of this div. Okay, save it. Inside body or inside section only, after this ul, I'm going to add one more paragraph, and this is the second one for section. This para is inside body. So see carefully this is structure. Okay, we have normal body. inside that we have one section. Okay, inside body, how many, if I'll ask like immediate child, okay, immediate child of body, how many child is there?
2.
2. So first one is section, another one is paragraph. Fine. Then how about section? Immediate children, tell me how many are there?
1.
4.
Yes, first one is para, second one is div, third one is ul, fourth one again para. How about div? We have just one paragraph, and for this ul we have 4 list items. Is that clear? So this is a normal structure, nested structure I have created. Okay, just to explain you about like different types of selectors. Okay, no question till here? No, this is a normal structure. So I'm going to comment this one first.
You
I will
explain
use
about
this.
what is div here and section will.
So section we have seen. Have you attended? Okay, Naresh, you are there.
Yes, yes, have attended.
Okay, yeah. So section tag is a kind of normal, you can say container. Okay, just to wrap those elements inside a single, you can say container. So we are using section here. So this is a meaningful tag. This is a semantic tag. That's why I'm using. Okay,
Okay.
and division inside section we can have multiple division. No, so that's why I'm using here div.
Okay.
Okay, just to group the elements. But right now here inside div we have just one paragraph. We can
Okay.
have multiple elements also inside that. So that's why I'm using simple division. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll use this one. This is structure. But before this one, I'm going to create simple paragraph. This is para into 4. Here we have 4 paragraphs. 4 paragraphs. You are able to see, no? Here we have 4 paragraphs. Fine. So for first one, what I'm going to do is, first one, we know ID attribute, isn't it? For what purpose we use ID? Anyone can tell me?
To find
Just for
that,
the
to find that particular attribution or class.
class is different thing. ID is for the unique identification of any element, isn't it?
Okay.
I'm saying unique identification. Let's say here I'm sorry.
Like email or something.
Yeah. So here, if I'm going to write ID for first one, I'm saying ID para. I'll explain you that. Give me just 1 minute, okay? It's loading. So in the first session of CSS, as I was explaining about the tag and attribute. So we have seen what exactly tag is. And if we want to provide some additional information, okay, about that tag, then we use any attribute, isn't it? So ID is also one attribute, and ID is also one attribute, and class is also one attribute that we will see. But let's say by seeing here, we have three different animals: lion, dog, and tiger. So assume this one is a div, this one is a paragraph, this one is H1. So we can target these elements by their name. That type selector we have seen no already, we were targeting like P, and then we were applying the color, isn't it? So like that, simply we can target it. That I will show you. But how about here we have two different tigers, okay? Here we have one tiger, here also we have one tiger. And in group of animal, you can see here, here also we have one tiger, okay? And here we have just one dog. So by name here we can identify simply if we have one paragraph, simply we can target this one. What if we have to target this one as well, this one? Okay, simply if I have to target, so here also we have one tiger. So if I will simply write, let's say here we have one paragraph, here also we have one paragraph, and one paragraph is inside div also. But I don't want to select this one. Simply if I'll write paragraph, it will select this one, and this one also, isn't it? So for that reason, if you want to group more than one element, okay, you can pass class name. And for class, prefix will be dot. And for ID, prefix will be hash. Okay. So that actually I'm going to explain you here. And if you are going to target like this, based on color, the tiger, you can see here the color is different for this one and for this one also. So instead of adding in a group, you can go with the ID also. So you can say simply it as tiger 1 and this one as tiger 2. So we are going to learn about this one. I'm going to remove this one first. Okay, I'll show you like what actually selector is. So first we'll create another file, css selectors.css file. Okay, and this file we have to add here, no, that we know like how to add link relation style sheet and css selector dot css. Now whatever code we will write here, no, that will work for this web page. So first type we are going to see, first type in selector, we are going to learn about type selector, or you can say element selector directly. Okay,
Can you please increase the font size?
for editor,
Yeah.
okay, it is already 22. Okay,
Thanks.
yeah, yeah, it's okay. So here we have type select, the first one. Okay, so type selector means whatever element here you have no on the page, if you want to target, you can target with the name. Okay, so here we have p tag. So if you want to target that, simply write that element name, then declaration block, and whatever CSS property you want to apply here, you can. Let's say I'm going to apply here color, red. So it will select all the P type of element. See, I'm able to apply color on all these 4 paragraphs. So this is nothing but type selector, simple. Type selector. So what if you have, we have paragraph, and after that here we have H3 element. This is heading 3. Okay. So for heading 3 also, if you want to add the same color, what you have to do? Control C.
H3, P.
Here just you have to write that element name H3. Okay. So I'm able to do this one right now. Simply we can target. But if you will see here, like by name we are targeting paragraph H3. But same property we are applying. There is no other property there which is unique here for paragraph. So in that case, what we can do, instead of writing 2 times, we can group these 2 elements. No, why to write like multiple time? So instead of doing this, I'll comment this one, and simply here I'm going to write P comma, just to separate these 2 selectors. We can write P comma H3 again. See, it is working. Once if I'm saving by default because of prettier extension, the next selector name, type selector name is coming in new line that you can see. So we can group any selector name here, as you can see. So what is type selector? Type selector is nothing but whenever we are going to target any element by its name, okay, that is nothing but type selector. Is that clear, everyone?
P space H3 also will work.
No, separator you have to keep. It will not work.
Okay.
See, separator you have to write as a comma only. Okay.
Okay.
So this is nothing but type selector, simple. Okay. Even now you know how to group elements. Fine. So this is the first selector, type selector. Okay. Next one is class selector. Okay, class. So for class selector, what you have to do, you have to add class attribute. Okay. So let's say here we have the first paragraph, and here I'm going to add one class attribute. And for H3 also, I'm going to add class attribute. Okay. So a specific class you have to pass here. Let's say you have a class. If you have a class, you are creating here simply a class. Second type selector here, I'm going to write it as okay, class selector. Simply what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a class. Okay, and here you do not have to write any element name. I'm saying class name you have to write. So here you can see I have not written any class name right now. So I'm going to give here class name as text hyphen red. Okay, any name you can give. Okay, but that should be meaningful. So here I'm applying class attribute that you can see and value as text hyphen red. So I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to copy this value here. And what is that? Text red. Fine. We'll save this one. I will paste it here. So now instead of any type like P or H3, simply I'm taking here class name and then declaration block. But in this case here, browser will get confused. Okay, because this type of tag or element is not there in HTML. Then how to target this one? So you have to clearly mention here, because what attribute you are using here? Class.
Class.
And value is text red. Okay, so just to tell to the browser, like you have to mention what type of value you are using, whether it is a type selector or ID selector or class selector. So it is a class value. So you need to add one prefix here. Because it is a class, you have to add one prefix as dot. Now it is a valid class selector. For class, what we have to use as a prefix? Dot. Okay. Now if I'm going to apply any property here, rule is same. I'm able to apply that or not? It is working, no? So class means we can target group of elements. So here, if we are applying text red, what if in future, if you want to utilize this class somewhere else, if you want to change the color of this heading also as a red, so can we use this one? Same class value here as well? It will work or not?
Yeah, it will work.
It will work. So here, two advantages there. First one, that we can target multiple element, and even we have here reusability. Okay. Okay. So by using class attribute, whatever value you are giving here, wherever you want to apply that particular feature of that CSS, whatever you have written inside that particular class in CSS, you can use that value as a class attribute value wherever you want. Let's say now here also in paragraph, last paragraph also, if you want the same thing, like you want to make this paragraph in red color, use class attribute and use text red. So it will work for the last paragraph also. So you have written just once, and based on your like requirement, even it is not just working for the paragraph, it is working for h3 also. If you are going to take in future, if you are going to take, let's say, one span tag, okay, and here I'm going to write this is a span, and for this span also, if you want to just change the color of the text, what you can do, tell me? Same class attribute and same value you can use here, text hyphen red, isn't it? So same class name we can use for multiple element. Okay, so this is nothing but class attribute. And what is class selector? That you can see, if you are targeting any element with its class attribute value, that is nothing but class selector. Is that clear, everyone?
The class name which you have taken is our choice, or
Anything you can take. Yeah, it's on our choice. So let's say now another class you are going to use for this paragraph. Okay, second paragraph, class, tell me anything, any name.
yeah, you can take the text.
Text, simple text.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, for now, okay, text, but name should be meaningful. So here what I'm going to do, what I have to write now, tell me.
The same color you can.
No,
Dot text.
how to
Dot
write
text.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
Dot text.
Dot text.
Because it is a class, so we have to add dot before
Dot,
the
yeah.
name and declaration block, and then color. Here we are going to take color, instead of red we can take here green.
Green. Yeah.
See here. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
I
so
have
it
a
is working
question.
now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Uh,
Or blue.
Text alignment is not work with span.
Sorry, text alignment.
Is doesn't work with span.
No, it will
Okay.
not work. You know why? Because this is inline element.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you will
Understood.
increase the width of this span, no, from here to here, 100%, at the time it will work. Let me tell you what I'm trying to say here. Width is 100%. Okay. Border I'm going to apply here. 1 pixel solid red. So see, width even I'm applying, no. So here for paragraph, it is taking 100% width. For heading 3 also, it is taking 100% width. But for this span, it is not taking 100% width. So if you want to apply width property, no, so you have to use one additional property called display, and you can make use of this one inline block. So now see, this span is also taking the 100% width of its parent. And now if you will apply text align, okay, let's say center. See, it is working. So if you are not using this display inline block, okay, and width as 100% of its parent, there is no extra space that you can see here. So it will take the width of its by default, whatever the content is there, not till there, its width will be like based on its content, width will get increase of that span. That's why there's no extra space that you can align this one. Is that clear, Niraj?
Yes,
Hello,
yes.
sir.
Yeah.
For me, the type selector color is not coming.
Which one?
Type selector.
Type selector, I didn't get you. Means what you are saying, type selector, what you have typed in your editor, tell me.
Yeah, the color is not coming in
Color,
my website.
color
Yeah,
property
yeah,
itself is
color.
not coming.
Yeah.
Some typo will be there, check it once. Tell me the type selector name, what you have written, complete thing.
The exact same thing, the one you read, like paragraph, then color, colon, red.
You have paragraph in your page.
Yeah.
I think there will be a typo. Let me stop this one. Share
You
your
have to
screen
link
now.
the CSS file to that HTML page.
Have you added that one? Share your screen, no, Dhanashri.
Mhm.
So here you have paragraph, fine. Have you added that CSS file in your HTML?
Uh, yeah. Just one minute.
I think you have not added. So you need to add that file, this file.
Where?
Yeah, add link tag after title, after title, add link tag, link colon CSS, link colon CSS. Yes. Now remove that path, no? Everything in href, remove, control space. You have no CSS selector, add that one, save it, now check.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that's it.
now
Thank
you
you.
can stop sharing. Yeah, no issue. Okay, so again, I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once you are able to see. Okay, so now it is clear, no? Like how class works, class selector. So we are adding here class attribute, and whenever you want to target multiple element, okay, with the same class, if you want to apply the same feature for all those elements, you can go with the class attribute. Okay, this is fine. So here we have text read and text, two different classes, fine. I'm going to create new class called font 24. Okay. And in this class, I'm going to apply here font size 24 pixels. Font size 24 pixels. We'll make this one the default. Browser here is 100% now. See. So am I using this class anywhere?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So I'm going to use for third paragraph class font hyphen 24. It is working or not for third paragraph? It is working.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. I have created this one. I'm able to add here. What if, in case, if you want to apply this text red also for first para and font 24 also, means you want to increase the font of this first para, then means you can add multiple classes. So I'm going to add here font 24. It will work or not?
No, I think
Browser will
it's
get confused actually from where it is starting and where it is ending. So it will think like here, see, the class name is starting from here and ending here because there is no separator in between. So for that reason here as a separator in class value, I'm saying, okay, class value, you have to keep at least one space. Now, how many class values are there in first para? 2. So text red as well as font 24. So text red, what actually it is going to do, it is going to change the color of the paragraph. And another class here which we have written, that is going to change the font size. See, now both are working fine, isn't it? So you can use multiple classes also, class value, if you want. Okay.
If we are font 24 in this, so the previous text color also will be work.
Yeah, that's what I'm showing, no? So
Yeah.
text red is also working and font 24 is also working.
Okay. Okay. So whatever we want to add, so we can add in the in that, right?
Yes, yes. Now you can ask, see, we have applied text red, but in font 24, again, one property is there called color. Okay. And here we have, let's say, gold color. So see, now red is not working. Font 24, whatever we have applied, no, in that we have applied one extra property. This is working. So these things we will see in selector specificity. Don't worry about this one right now. Okay. I will explain you how actually it works.
Okay.
Okay. So that also I have explained you, like in case if you are using this class, in that also color property is there. Another class you have used just for the font. Okay. But in that also, if some other property is the same, which you are using already, what will happen? Which one is going to override? So how about the precedence? So those things we'll see. Okay. Don't worry about that. Right now I'm explaining you about class select. So you can use multiple classes also. And now you know the syntax. By seeing only you can understand whenever we have any name and before that we have dot, that will be always a class. Even you can group multiple elements like this, as we were adding p here, p comma h3. So here also you can write text red comma, then any element name also you can write. It is not mandate like if you have just class name, then you can wrap here means group just class. No, not like that. You can write any selector. What type of selector it is, you can write, you can group. Okay. Because if you remember when I was explaining about the selector and about the declaration block, there I have written just selector, not a specific type of selector like ID selector or class selector or type selector, isn't it? So you can group any type of selector here. So now we know what is type selector, what is class selector. Till here, do you have any question?
Can we put two class together like dot text hyphen red comma dot text comma dot font hyphen 24?
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Okay.
Yes, we can. Okay. So no question till here. Everything is clear. Fine. So now we know like to group, to target like group of element, we use what? Class selector. And what we have to do in HTML, we have to add class attribute and then we have to give any class value. Even now we know like how to add multiple classes. That also we have seen. Fine. Now we know the class selector. How many of you know about ID selector? Tell me.
I know
Okay. What exactly is that? Can you please tell
that
me?
it is like the same way what you're telling about the class selector. So we can
Is
use the
same or
hash.
something is
We can
different?
use the hash one. So that hash text like hash font 24 like that we can use. ID is
Okay.
to
So
find the
class attribute example. Okay. So now I'm going to comment this one. We'll take another snippet now. And that is for ID attribute example. Okay. Again, what I'm going to do here, we'll take paragraphs. This is para, and we'll give here a number, let's say 4. Here we have 4 paragraphs. Okay. So anyone can tell me what is the use of ID selector? We have seen like to target the multiple element, we use class. How about ID?
It is for the single element.
It is for the single element. Okay. So as here we have written like class attribute for ID, what we have to do? We have to write ID attribute, isn't it? ID is equal to, uh, let's say I'm going to write here para 1. Okay. Para 1. For first para, I have given name here para 1. So for ID selector, what we have to do? We have to write the same ID name, but here prefix will be what? Hash. And now color I'm going to apply here red. Fine. So here we have first para in red color. Now tell me one thing. What if I'm going to use here for fourth para, ID is equal to, again, same thing, para 1. What will happen?
The same thing. That color also will apply to this paragraph.
This one also?
No, it should be unique.
No,
ID
sir,
should
for
be.
the first one it will be considering.
Next one will not work?
No, sir.
Actually, it will work. I'm going to save it, see. So this is confusing, no? Here in CSS, what is the difference between ID and class? ID means unique identity, but still it is working like class only. This should not happen, no?
Yes.
Then why it is happening? Anyone, any idea? See, here in HTML and CSS, you won't get any error. ID and class will work in the same way. You can, in interview also they ask this type of question. Okay. So ID and class is going to work in the same way. Okay. But you have seen, no, the HTML3 validator.
Yes.
Now I'm going to show you that. Here you won't get any error, but it is not recommended. In one web page, only one unique identity should be there. Okay. If you're using para 1, whether it is for para or heading or any element, okay, that should be unique. You're not supposed to use same ID again on the page. So here you won't get any error. Here CSS will work fine, but in JavaScript for few selectors it will work, for few it will break. Okay, it is going to consider the first one. Okay, that we will see once we will start the JavaScript DOM part. But for now, what I'm going to show you, W3C validator here we have. Okay, so direct input we can type no here. So for that, what I can do is I'm going to create here one simple file demo.html just to take the snippet, nothing for else. Okay, so CSS selector here we have HTML. We'll take this one. You will get error as well as warning. What it is saying, duplicate ID para 1. Okay, warning, the first occurrence of ID para 1 was here. So we're not supposed to use it twice. That you can see here also we have para 1, here also we have para 1. So CSS will work. In interview they can ask you like this, means whether it will work or not. So like that you can use class and ID will work same. Okay, you can target multiple element, but if you will check here, and this is not recommended, so that's why this is the official validator and it is giving me error, not warning. error it is giving me here, that you can see what it is saying, duplicate ID. So this is not a best practice. Okay.
So what is the impact of having duplicate ID if we are
Performance issue. See, if you will
okay?
have any HTML error, no, so it is not going to give you any error or break your code functionality like JavaScript. But if you will check the performance in Lighthouse of your browser, we can check that. We will see if time permits. Like we have to learn a lot of things actually. So I will show you that also.
Okay.
So if you are going to use this duplicate ID, no, so it will show you same kind of error, and because of that only, it will show you like you are not doing best practice. So the performance will be like not good. Okay.
Most probably the ID will be used in JavaScript, right?
Yes, mostly we use in JavaScript ID, but in CSS it is not recommended also. Okay, even though if you are going to target a single element, use class only. Create a new class and target that element, apply anything, whatever you want. But we have here the feasibility, okay, that we can add ID attribute, and we can select any element with the ID. But here, by seeing that, you can not identify whether it is a class selector or ID selector until and unless you are not going to see the code. Okay, rules if you are applying, that will work in the same way for class and ID. Is that clear, everyone, now?
I have a question. Like
Yes, please.
we can use both ID and class in the same HTML file. I mean, can we use only class instead of ID?
For same element, you are saying we can use whether class and ID both attribute. That is your question.
Yes, yes, yes.
We can use, and we use that one when we have to target a particular element in, like, by using JavaScript selector. Then at that time we do that. Okay.
So the more significance of ID is towards the JavaScript, right?
JavaScript, yes.
Okay. So is it recommendable to use classes if you are working only on HTML instead of ID?
Yeah, instead of ID, that's why I'm saying, like, you will get error by mistake if you are using the same ID twice. Okay, so it will
Okay.
work fine, means appearance will look good. Okay, you will also not able to identify whether it is like giving any error or something like that, because in browser it is not giving you any error, it is not breaking your functionality, isn't it?
Yes,
So
yes.
at that time it will work, but there will be a performance issue. So that's why we're not supposed to use ID in CSS, but we
Okay.
have this feature that you can use. The
Okay.
practitioner are like not recommending this one to use ID. Instead of ID, use class only. Why to use ID?
Okay. Okay.
Isn't it? So this is about ID selector. Any question now in ID selector?
Yeah,
Anyone?
if we use different value for different ID, then it will work.
Different value for different ID?
Yeah, suppose
Means
paragraph.
different
Yeah,
name
in
if you are
HTML.
using, no? If you are using different
Okay.
name, let's say for first paragraph you have para 1, for second you
Okay.
have ID para 2, then para 3, then para 4.
Yeah,
So
here the ID value should be changed. Suppose para 2, if we mention it will work.
yeah, it will work, then you won't get any error. So that's why I'm saying, no, duplicate
Mhm.
ID should not be there, duplicate ID value. Okay, if you
Okay.
have, because ID means unique identification of any element if you're using this ID attribute. Okay, so if you have like unique value, then you are good, you are safe. But if you're using same value twice in one web page, then it will give you error. If you will
If I
check in the
use the
value.
same value for ID and for class, so how it will work?
So for class, in class attribute, you are going to pass this ID value.
Yeah, the same value if I'm using for both, so it will be work.
So you are saying, let's say here, instead of this, if I'll use class,
Yeah,
no, it will not work, because at that time you are defining what attribute here,
class.
and it will check in your CSS rule set whether you have defined any class para 1 or not. So it will say no, it is not there. So no class will be applied here, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that clear? See, so now I'm going to save. Till now I have not saved it. Now I'm going to save. See, it is not working.
Okay.
Clear?
Sir,
Because
as an idea.
Based on the prefix and suffix, if we give, it will work.
yeah, based on the prefix only. So
Okay.
again, if you are going to define this one, same thing with a dot also,
So the
same ID name,
okay, the
whatever
class one will
ID,
work. Yeah.
yeah, ID here you have, as well as with the same name you have class also, then it will work.
Okay, got it.
See,
Yeah.
clear?
So
Yeah,
what is
someone
good
was
practice
asking another question. Yeah, go
to
ahead.
use?
Sorry,
What is a good practice to use class or ID?
class only, class only.
Okay.
In
Okay.
CSS, we supposed to use every time class. Don't go
Okay.
with the ID. Okay,
Okay.
because accidentally you can do that. The same thing means you can put the same value twice on the page. So it will work here, but again, internally, it will break something else. Okay, so we're not supposed to use. Anyone else has any question?
Sir, like in the class attribute, we were using text and font.
Hmm.
Uh, Same like the class, we can use it in the ID
No,
attribute.
no. ID, as I said, see, ID will be only a single value. So if you are saying we will define para 1 as well as para 2, how it will work? It will get confused. Which value is there for this ID? If you will say, okay, I'm an employee, I have employee code 1, 2, 3 as well as 4, 5, 6. So that is confusing, no?
Sir, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question? No. Okay, fine. So now we are done with the type selector, class selector, ID selector. Okay. The last selector without any combinator, I'm saying. The last selector here we have let's say here we have different elements. Okay, now I'm going to uncomment this. Here we have paragraph, again here we have paragraph, inside that here we have list item. Okay, so here we have paragraph, this one is also paragraph, these are the list items, here we have paragraph, and this one is also paragraph. So at least two different types of elements are there. What if you want to select all of them at a time? What selector you can use? Whatever you have on the page at a time, if you want to select, what selector you can use? Anyone? Any idea?
Class, I think we can use and target to all
Can you
them.
please repeat the question? Actually, I'm not there that time.
See, here we do not have any class, do not have ID. Even though if we have ID or class and want to select each and everything at a time, yeah, Murli Krishna, you are right. And that we can use, but what is the name of that particular selector?
Body.
Division.
No. Here by seeing you can say like section is there, paragraph is there, division is there, but you are not aware of like what type of tag they are using in the web page, and you are in CSS file and you have to select each and everything. No, root is not there. This is known as, someone said like once I was asking like, are you aware of like what type of selector is there? Someone said the first selector name, universal selector, exactly. So here we have universal selector. The name itself is saying like you are going to select each and everything on the page. So simply, I'm not sure like what type of tags are there. In that case, if you want to target each and everything, what you have to do, simply you need to write this asterisk sign, star sign to select all. Okay, select all. And then apply color as red. See, it is working, no? So this star is nothing but universal selector. Okay, so when we use this star universal selector, because every time we do not change the color of each and every element. Okay, So generally we use this universal selector to reset, okay, the rule set of the page. Okay, so on top, every time in real time, if you are going to develop any web page, on top you have to write some reset. Okay, so here if you will see, by default there is some gap, okay, before T. Okay, even if I'm going to apply here, let's say if I'll target instead of this one HTML, okay, don't worry about this background property and all. Here see, we have now gap, no? Before this T we have gap, no? It is not touching the edge of this browser because we have the default margin of 8 pixels that I will show you. One second. Where it is? When I'm targeting this body on left hand side, you can see one box will appear, and there you are able to see, no, one border kind of thing for that box. So that is the margin. And how much it is? See, when I'm highlighting here, this is the content. There's no padding, no border. Here we have margin. How much it is? 8 pixels. So if you want to reset all the predefined rule set, then you have to use universal selector on top of your CSS file. Simply you have to mention here like whatever element is there, no, remove the default margin from there. Let's say here we have margin. Remove the default margin, set it to 0. Now see how it is. So if you want to apply this type of like rules, like for each and every element, then only we use this universal selector. We will see once we will start developing our like that single page, as I said, then I will show you how to use this one. Is that clear? So this star is nothing but universal selector. So this is also on the place of selector only. So here I'm going to put like this one, so you will not get confused between comment and universal selector. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now here we have selector combinators that we are going to learn. Okay, so in selector combinator, the first combinator is descendant. Okay, combinator selector. Anyone know what exactly is that? Descendant combinator. When I'm using this word, no, combinator, means I'm going to talk about the combination of two different, at least two selectors. I'm going to combine, isn't it? So we'll use here descendant combinator selector. Selector we have seen. The first one is type selector, then we have class selector, then we have ID selector, then we have universal selector. Okay, these are the top level selectors that you will be able to see that every time. But how about these type of combinators? When to use this? Any idea? Fine. This section is the immediate someone target child. Yeah, to target child only we are going to learn about the combinators. That is fine. See here we have body. The structure first, understand the structure. We have body for HTML, and inside that we have two children. First one is section, another one is paragraph. So first paragraph that you can see is the immediate paragraph, immediate child of this body. This one is grandchild of this body. This one is grandchild of this body. So the level can be like nth level, depth or nested. We don't know. At that time, if you want to select, any element, okay, then you have to use this descendant combinator. I'm saying descendant, okay. We don't know the level, like how depth it is. So simply what I'm going to say here, in our case, first, I'm going to target body, fine. This is fine. I'm going to target body. So everything should be in red color. That is happening. Now, what type of selector I'm using here? Tell me. Anyone?
Bodies.
No, there is no body selector. No, there is a name for this one. What type of selector we are using here?
Type selector.
Type
Is a
selector.
type selector. Exactly. Fine. So here in this case means it is working fine. I'm able to apply this color to each and every element. Fine. But now what I'm saying, inside body, no, inside body, wherever you find paragraph, inside body, wherever you find paragraph, apply this color, red color. We'll save this one. So this is paragraph, this is paragraph, this is paragraph, and this is paragraph. So see here, this paragraph is where? Inside body, that is the immediate child. This paragraph is inside div, which is inside section. And this is the inside section, directly this paragraph, and this one is also inside section. So here, if you will see how nested it is, the first one is the direct child, then here this one. This paragraph and this paragraph is inside section. And inside section here we have one div, and inside that div again we have one paragraph. Okay, so that is the structure. So simply if you are going to use this one, so Naresh, you asked me, no, at that time whether we can keep space or not in
Yes, yes.
between tags. So
Yeah.
that's why here we have a different grammar rule for this CSS.
Okay.
If you are giving one space, no, that will be considered as descendant selector. That's why here we do not have separator like this. Okay. So whenever you are writing body, space, any element name or any element name, space, any like element you are giving,
Okay.
it means target that particular element, and inside that, wherever you find that particular element, apply that property. Okay. But one thing you need to always remember, and what is that, always you have to write first parent, then space,
Child.
child.
Okay.
That is the rule. You cannot write first child and then parent. Always you have to select parent, and then you have to search for all that particular element which you want to target. That you have to remember. Okay.
Hmm.
First parent, then child. So same thing. Now instead of body, if I'll say go and target div, okay, go and select div and apply this color. I'm able to apply that, no? Because here, once if I'm applying on div, so this paragraph is inside div only. Fine. What if we have here h3 also? This heading 3 is inside div. Okay, we'll save this one. So I have applied here on which element? On div. Okay, so it is applicable for
Both.
children, isn't it? So now I want to go with the specific one. A specific one. So let's say this h3 is here also inside section. Okay, here also. So simply if you will say, okay, if I want to target the H3, so H3 means it will select all H3 which is available on the page. So this one is inside div and this one is inside section. Both are selected, no?
Yes.
So what you have to do, let's say if you want to target this H3, okay, and you are simply saying select section, and wherever you find as a child of this section H3, apply color as red. So now if you will see, so this H3 is the child of section or not? See?
Yes, yes.
Yes. And this H3 is also child of section of this not of this
Yes.
section or not, because this is not the immediate one, but this one is a grandchild, isn't it? So it will be considered as child only. So here it will be applicable for both. Now, but I am going to write here, hey, I want to target here one div. Okay. Div, and inside that we have paragraph as well as H3. But I want to target what? Just H3. So now see, it is applicable for just H3. So descendant selector, you understood, no, what exactly it is? Whatever the depth, how nested it is, that doesn't matter. If it is a child of that particular element, you will be able to target that. How to avoid grandchild? We'll come to that, Holy Krishna. We'll come to that selector also. So right now we are talking about descendant selector. Descendant means wherever you will get that child, if that selector is like exactly whatever you are writing here, if it is matching that particular pattern, it will work. Till here, everyone is clear? Descendant selector is clear or not? Tell me.
Sir,
Yes.
if we assign the class for div section, div tag, so that time how to give this one, sir?
That also I'm coming to. Say, good question. Let's say here you have class, and class also I'm going to give here section. Okay. And here for div also I'm going to add class, and we'll give here class as div. So we were targeting what? Here we were targeting inside section. We have to target wherever find that H3. Okay. Simply now I'm going to target, let's say, section. Okay, section with tag name, type selector name. So it will target both of the H3 tag. But if I'm going to write here, simply, let's say, here also it will work. Here also it will work. Okay. I'm just thinking like what example will be good for this use case. Let's say here also we have, this is section. So this is outside. Okay. So simply if we will write that, see, simply if you are writing, one example I can give you here. If you are writing H3 here, I have not saved this file. So all these three heading tags you are able to select, fine. But what if you are going to target which is inside, okay, which is inside just div only, right now like this. So here we are able to select this one. So same case will be for the ID also. If you have here H3, okay, H3, here we have paragraph, no? Okay, we can take example for that one, paragraph. Let me remove this one. So here we have two paragraphs, no, in section. In section, we have first paragraph, last paragraph, fine. So class, I'm going to add here para. we can do this one. Like inside section, simply I'm saying target a paragraph. I'm able to select each and every paragraph wherever it will find. But now what I'm saying, target just para inside this section, wherever you will find the para class, target that only. So instead of writing this one, this p element, what we will do, we'll write para. So here it is going to target just first one. This one is the para. This one is also para, but it is not targeting that one. Okay, because here we are very specific with the class, not with the selector, not with the type selector, isn't it?
Yes.
So the same, you got my point, no, what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So if you are very specific with the class, it is going to select that particular class only, not any other paragraph that you can see. This is also paragraph, this is also paragraph. But in this case, it is selecting just first paragraph, not this one, second paragraph. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, para class is use multiple element. Then select out the change the color.
I didn't get your question. Come again.
Sir, para para class use in multiple elements, sir.
Hmm.
In section multiple para change the color, sir.
What you are saying, I'm not getting. Anyone is getting what he's trying to say?
I think inside the section, if we have a same class for different elements.
Same class for different elements. So it is going to target that element also. So let's say here we have para, no? So if you will write this one for H3 also, if you will write para,
Yes, sir.
it will work for H3 also. See, is that your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so yeah, it will work. If you know what actually the class selector is, you will be able to understand. Like here I'm explaining the descendant, and if you will see here, what is the meaning of this space is nothing but descendant selector. Space is descendant selector. So wherever it will find that child which you are looking for, whether it is a class or ID or a normal type selector, okay, it will work. Instead of this, let's say instead of this, if I'm going to write, let's say inside section, okay, inside section, instead of any class or any type selector, here if I'll write simply universal selector, no. So it means it is going to select each and everything inside section. That also you can do. So combinator means whenever you using combinator, no, it will be between at least two different selectors. Always remember, because here I'm saying combinator. Okay, it is showing the relation between these two selectors. Is that clear, everyone, now?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now, after this combinator, descendant combinator, another one here we have, that is in interview, like they can ask you about this one, this type of combinator. They'll give you some scenario and then they will ask you to like solve this one. So instead of descendant, now we have another one as child combinator. Okay, child combinator. Fine. So what actually it is going to do? So if I'm saying section, okay, simply section and space paragraph, color red. So wherever, what type of selector combinator I'm using here right now? Anyone can tell me now?
Descendant.
Descendant. So in this case, wherever it will find as a child paragraph, okay, whether it is a immediate child or like it's a grandchild or grandchild, it is going to select, isn't it? So then we can use descendant, but Here we have this child selector section, and assume this one as arrow. Okay, means inside section search for paragraph. But here we have a different case, like it is going to select the just immediate child, immediate. Okay, not grandchild or grandchild. So it will check for the immediate child whenever you are using child selector. So I'm saying inside section select paragraph, it is there. So here see, this para is inside section. Okay, and this para is also inside section. Now I'm saying select H3, which is inside section if it is there. So this heading is inside section. That's why you are able to select this one. This is also inside section, but that is not the immediate child of this particular container that you can see. Here we have how many H3s are there? One. This is a grandchild that you can see. Inside section we have div, and inside div we have H3. But here we have the immediate child that you can see is inside section. So that's why it is selecting this one. Got it? What child combinator is? Everyone? Always it will select the immediate child if it is there. Is that clear, everyone? Fine. Now the third one here we have, that is next sibling combinator or adjacent. You can say adjacent sibling combinator. Next sibling or okay. 1 second. Okay, fine. So next sibling or adjacent combinator. Anyone knows about this one? What actually it is?
Parent.
Sorry. See what it is going to do. The name itself is saying sibling. Okay. Means here, 1 second. What is the meaning of sibling? I'll tell you. 1 second. Yeah, as we have like our brother or sister, they are a sibling for us. Okay. So same thing. Like if we have one parent here, this one. So the immediate child of this one, like this paragraph, this div, UL tag, P tag, and H3 are the immediate child for this section. So all these five elements will be like sibling for each other. Okay. So let's say if I'm going to select here paragraph directly, paragraph. Yeah, so I was saying sibling. So what actually it is? So let's say here we have a parent, that is section. And for this section, we have, let's see, one paragraph, we have one H3, we have again UL, and again we have one div. So these are the children for this section. Okay, so these are the siblings for each other. So div, UL, H3, paragraph. So how actually this next sibling will work? Simply if I'm saying select paragraph, okay, select paragraph, I will show you how it will work. It is not working. Okay. Okay. So here, if you will see, if I'm saying simply select paragraph, okay, and apply color as again red. So wherever we have paragraph, it is selecting that one. Now what I'm saying, select H3, okay, select H3 simply and apply color as red. So you can see here we have H3 and here also we have H3. And now what I'm going to do after this section also I'm going to add one H3. This is inside body, or this heading 3, okay, is inside body, so that you can see. Simply if I'm writing H3, then it will select all those H3 elements which are available on the page. But now I'm saying no, select only those H3 elements which is inside section. So here that you can see these two are inside section. Fine. We can use here select like immediate child. So this is the immediate child. Fine. Now what I'm saying, instead of this, select paragraph, and immediately after that, if there is any, immediately after I'm saying, and we are checking here siblings. So immediately after paragraph, if there is any H3 element, target that and apply this color. So see here, we have to select first paragraph. So this one is the first paragraph. After this, do we have H3? Tell me. Immediate sibling at same level. Do we have H3? No. Where is another paragraph? Okay, here we have. So we are going to target this one, and immediately after this, do we have H3? Yes, here we have. So it will select this one. This heading is inside section. So this one, now it will come here. Okay, it will select this paragraph, and immediately after that, do we have H3? Yes, here we have. So this is going to select this H3 element. See here how it is working. So immediately after paragraph, if H3 is there, then it is going to target that. Otherwise, it will not. Okay. Is that clear, everyone? What is next sibling? Whatever element you want to target, target that. And immediately after that, if you want to check whether it is there or not, then go with this one.
If
This.
there are two elements like the same way, after paragraph there is an H3. So which one will be
Immediate
work?
one. Immediate one.
Okay.
Like you are saying, if your question is this.
Yeah, the same one.
See, this is your question, no?
No. In the section, if there are two elements like one paragraph H3, again one paragraph H3. So in these two which one will be work?
Okay, so let me do one thing. So you are saying this. One second. I have not copied actually. So this paragraph.
Yeah, and the
H3.
H3. Yeah, and
And this
again
paragraph
and
H3.
H3. Yeah.
Both will work.
Okay.
Both will work, because here you are not mentioning no clearly.
Okay.
Like which paragraph. Okay. So we have those type of structure selector that we will see tomorrow. Like we have like last of type, last child, those kind of thing. You can be very specific with that. Okay. So we'll learn
Okay.
about that also.
If you
Don't
want to
worry.
differentiate both of them, so again we have to add the class.
Yeah, here you can add class, that will work.
Okay.
But if for each and every paragraph class is same and the pattern you are using same here, paragraph heading 3, paragraph heading 3, paragraph heading 3, class is same. Okay. So in that case, if you want to target just the last one, then you can go with that rule. So here it will work for both, because here
Okay.
this heading is also after paragraph, this heading is also after paragraph, and this heading is also after paragraph. You can be more specific. Hey, I want to target H3 which is after paragraph, but not inside section, inside div. So then it will select this one only. Okay.
Okay.
So this adjacent or next sibling selector or combinator is going to target the immediately after that particular element. You can do one more thing, one more interesting thing here. Target paragraph. Okay. And then I'm saying target any other element, as we have here div, then ul. Okay. So what we can do, target one paragraph and check immediately after this if we have a div. Okay. And after that, again check if immediately after that div, if there is ul. Okay. Here inside div we do not have, no, so we have to remove this one. So select paragraph, immediately after that check whether there is any div, and after that if we have any ul, apply red color on it. That we are doing. Again we can do one more thing here, like we are selecting paragraph, check whether div is there or not. So for this paragraph it will not work, because after this paragraph we do not have div. After this paragraph also we do not have div. After this paragraph also we do not have div. So it will just match for this one only. After this paragraph we have div, and after this div we have ul. Again we can go beyond that. We can target this p also. Check after this ul, check after this ul if there is any paragraph, apply red color on that. So see how it is working. Okay. Now I'm saying again, after this paragraph, check if there is any H3. So it will apply red color on it. So you can target like this. You can use adjacent selector like this. Okay. So that's it for today. Tomorrow again we'll start these selectors which we left with. So we have now general sibling selector or subsequent selector in combinators. Okay. Normally we have 4 types of selector: universal selector, type selector, class selector, ID selector. And after that we have combinator. In that we have 4 types. First one is descendant, second one is child, third one is next sibling or adjacent combinator. And the last one here we have general sibling or subsequent sibling combinator selector. Okay. That we will see tomorrow. Okay. Till here, no question. Everything is clear, everyone? If you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we can drop off for the day. Tomorrow again, we'll connect. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye.